welcome back to Minus Infinity. Last time Mega Man was sucked into a vortex, and now it's time for the craziest stage in the entire game, which begins with a cutscene with very bad English. Some of these sentences are just outright hilarious, how badly worded they are, or translated from Japanese. Such as, your vital sensor caught a signal, and the great, no, I'll not warp, and my personal favorite, what you said? No kidding, Rock. I love how this whole scene is trying to be so dramatic and surprising, but the messed up English just makes it so comedic. This room might actually look like a typical refight room, where you would usually just go fight the 8 bosses again, but this stage takes the refights to a whole new level. This is one of the most fun stages in the entire game, and I really love the direction Pure Save went in this stage. The gist of this stage is that it's a giant maze that's a combination of every single previous stage. There are a bunch of items dispersed throughout the stage, like the Iceman item that was just shown, which will allow you to access a big map of all of the rooms you visited. Throughout the stage, there's a bunch of teleporters that can teleport you around the maze. They're usually located right before the bosses. The goal of the stage is to kill all 8 of the bosses, retrieve the weapons the Snatchman took, and grab all the items that they'll drop to open the teleporter in the hub room that will take you to the boss fight with Wily. I'll also just be cutting out the fights of the bosses because we've already all seen these bosses before. I don't need to show them again. After you kill a boss, the teleporter to the spot nearby will open if you haven't opened it already. And if you go back to the boss gates, there will be a Yoshichi from Mega Man 1 there. Like in Mega Man 1, it will restore all of your health and weapon energy, and it will teleport you back to the hub room. Next up, I'll be going for Dustman, not only to get the Recycle Inhaler back, but because in this stage, all of the bosses start out in their critical modes. Even with Toad Spell, Dustman is a very big threat because he can insta-kill you pretty easily. After a quick refill thanks to the Yoshichi, there's another important item located up this ladder. The Magnet Man head will show you the locations of all of the bosses on your map. I'm going to start speeding up some of these rooms just because they're very samey and they have the content we've already seen before, like these rooms mimicking Wily 1 with all of these Sniper Joes. They're not anything particularly interesting or something I can commentate over. It's pretty much the same reason why I sped up the first half of Wily 1. It's fun to play, but it's not really fun to watch. Now, the reason why I'm going after Skullman now is because there's still one more Recycle Inhaler related item I haven't gotten yet. Skullman's weakness is the Recycle Inhaler, and if you kill him with Recycle Inhaler, you'll get a new item, the Skull Amulet. The Skull Amulet will make it so what would normally be the killing blow would only drop you to 1 health. It's pretty useful because once it activates, you can just go and refill your health with an E-Tank. You have to make sure that you're moving away from Skullman, though, when you defeat him. Otherwise, you're going to grab the item he dropped before the Skull Amulet. And next up is Brightman. I didn't show this in the original video, but Brightman's true weakness is the Ring Boomerang. And if you spam it, it will absolutely decimate him. Pharaoh Man is probably the easiest to find aside from Drill Man. All you have to do is just go down a few rooms in the giant ladder tower to the left of the hub, and you should find him pretty quickly. There is one more item hidden in the level, the Flashman Head. The Flashman Head will show you on your map where the maze warps you around. It isn't completely one giant grid. Some of the rooms have warps that warp you to other parts of the map and such. Also, the path leading to it has a lot of really annoying invincible enemies, and you can get knocked down back into the hub room pretty easily. After a quick detour, I went back and got it. Here it is. And now back to the bosses. Next up is Dive Man. You have to go all the way up this ladder tower and get to the room with the 2 scarab enemies and a ledge on the right. Use the balloon adapter to get over to that side and you'll make it to Dive Man. And just like Brightman, I didn't actually show the real weakness in my original Dive Man video. Dive Man's actual weakness is Spark Mambo. Also, the pits and lava are not covered after you kill Dive Man here. To easily get to Ringman, just go find the Flashman head and then immediately turn around once you exit the room, and you'll be warped to the path to Ringman. There's a pretty pointless swapper here. It's just there. It's pretty easy to avoid it and get to the teleporter, and you can just use the wire and not even have to interact with it. It's pretty weirdly placed. Ringman's real weakness is Hell Wheel, and it's actually a pretty effective weakness, especially if Ringman grabs you with his rings and reels you in, because then he'll kill himself with Hell Wheel. Just like that. And with that, there's only one more Robot Master to kill, Toadman. He's located close to Pharaoh Man by leaving one of the rooms also in the ladder tower. Now, Toadman's true weakness is Pharaoh's shotgun, but there's something pretty funny about Toadman. Yep. Using Toad against Toad will turn Toadman into a toad. Toad, 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 toad. If you avoid squishing him, you'll actually get rewarded at the end of the game. I use the term reward very loosely. And now for the final ball. This is pretty hard to find, and you're pretty much gonna need the Flashman head to even have a hint how to get this. You just have to get to that room with the Jumbig and then immediately go over to the left and you'll find Miscolored Roll and Kalinka. This cutscene is really stupid. I think it's trying to go for something where Wily made some copy of Roll who's trying to pretend to be Roll and holding Kalinka hostage, but again, the English is so badly written that I can barely tell what's going on, and it also suffers the same thing that the first cutscene does, that it's trying to be dramatic, but the English is so bad that it's just feels comedic. It feels like a giant joke. It also feels a lot like fan fiction, especially with this line where the Roll copy blows up and Mega Man's like, "I'll never forgive Wily once more." That cutscene also gives you an upgrade. It's not in the menu, but it halves the cost of Rush Search, Cannon, and Wish Star. With all balls obtained, it's time to take on Wily. And before that, you're given an absolute fuck ton of rewards. Like, holy shit. With all these gifts, the next boss must be incredibly tough, right? Man, the music has stopped, eddies appear, tons of rewards. We're all building up to something incredibly dramatic. Yes, that is 28 health bars. Wily Phase 1 is the most fucking stupid idea I've ever seen. It's an incredibly simple boss with no real weakness, and it has 28 health bars. It's funny the first time around, but this is just tedious. It's not fun. The boss has an extremely simple pattern. There's no tricks up its sleeve or anything. It's just the same pattern. 4 arcing shots and then 4 tracking shots. Wash, rinse, repeat. It's really stupid, and it gets incredibly tedious, especially on subsequent playthroughs. And I tested every weapon on this thing. It just devours the only things that do serious damage to it. Wish Star only takes 1 health bar. Rush Cannon only takes 1 health bar. Hell Wheel does a lot of damage, but it eats the wheel. So your energy for Hell Wheel is going to be draining very quickly. HCR Boomerang doesn't work on it either because it will just eat the ring. The worst part about it is the game knows it's dumb. If you die to it or have any other fight with it, it only has 6 health bars. This boss is the epitome of an overly long joke. And eventually I just stopped caring. I'm summoning Rush Search to fill me up for the next phase when I'm almost done with that phase. It's just so stupid. With that garbage over with, thankfully Phase 2 is much better of a final fight. Wily Phase 2 also doesn't really have a weakness, but it has a variety of attacks to keep things fresh and spice things up. It has this chargeable laser attack where if you don't destroy it fast enough, it'll shoot a huge wave of stuff at you that can do a whole lot of damage unless you're jumping constantly when it's active. It also has a few other attacks like these homing orbs that you have to destroy before they get to you, or these mines that will explode when they're on your level. The machine also will try to slam down on the ground and crush you. Even if it doesn't have a true weakness, the best thing to use on it is a combination of Pharaoh Shotgun and Hell Wheel. Pharaoh Shotgun's attack radius is wide enough so that it always hits its weak point, and Hell Wheel instantly destroys the explosive homing orbs. Well, there is one weapon that works incredibly well against this boss. That weapon would be Wish Star. It actually one-shots this boss no matter what health you're at. Man, Wily Phase 2 is just making me use all the weapons I never use. After you destroy the machine, Wily tries to get away, but thankfully Mega Man suddenly becomes smart. But Wily is smarter and has a pod conveniently there to capture Rush. And obviously there's a 4th Wily stage. And it's definitely something. I'm Storm Power, and thank you for watching.